Let's talk about the untold story, the untold secrets, the untold facts around the Senzo Mewa trial. A lot of people would have forgotten actually what happened and how did we end up here. In this episode, in today's episode, there are things that I want to show you: the delays, the lawyers who was there before, why they withdrew, about advocate. Therefore, Attorney Tobane, Ramsipile, Mnisi, how they came about, how is it that they got involved in this case, things like that and more. Allow me to start from the day where Minister Pegitele, it was on the 26th of October 2020, where Minister Pegitele made an announcement that they have arrested the 5 suspects accused of taking the life of Senzo Meyiwa in Olokosori on the 26th of October 2014. So you want to count as to from the day that the minister makes an announcement. Senzo Meyiwa died on 2014, 26 October. The announcement was made 26 October 2020 that they have arrested those people. So now, we were told that the suspects were apprehended in KwaZulu-Natal and subsequently appeared in Boksburg Magistrate Court. Now, the suspects were, are as follows. The accused are Muzaka Khulelwa Sibiya Bongani Ntanzi, Mthokoziseni Maphisa, Fisokuhle Ntuli, and Mthobisi Mncube. Right, they were then charged with with attempted murder, robbery with aggravating circumstances, possession of unlicensed firearm, and possession of possession of ammunition. Right. So, fast forward, they then made their first appearance, right? So the announcement is made. It was on the 26th of October 2020 by the then Minister of Police, Mr. Peggy Cele, right? That is on the 26th. Fast forward, on the 27th of October 2020, they will then make their first appearance at Boksburg Magistrate Court. And even then, it is also important to note that Advocate George Baloyi, he is involved as a state prosecutor right there and there, right? So, we then have to say, okay, so 2020, 27th of October, the case when they appeared at Boksburg, 27th of October when they appeared at Boksburg Magistrate Court, the case was then postponed. It was then transferred on the 5th of March 2021. The case was transferred to Pretoria High Court. Please note, they were arrested they were announced to have been arrested on the 26th of October, 26th of October 2020. 27th of October 2020, they made their first appearance at Boksburg Magistrate Court. On the 5th of March 2021, that will be the following year, their case then got to be transferred to Pretoria High Court. Now, you then want to know, when did the case begin at Pretoria High Court? It is worth noting that the case will then start on 11th of April 2020. The case start, but then right there and there, Advocate Mshololo will then ask for postponement of about 5 days. She's then given she's then granted the 5 days 5 days postponement. Let me then take you back. The presiding judge, the then presiding judge was Judge Chifiwa Maumela, who started with the case. And we will get to Judge Ratamokwatleng, but I want you to note that when it went to Pretoria, the then judge was Judge Chief Maumela. Now, who were the first lawyers? Advocate, therefore, began representing these people, right? Right from the start. So let me take you then. So advocate, therefore, represented accused number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, which is Muzika Ukulela Sbiya, Bongan Sandiso Ntanzi, Mthobisi Prince Mncube, and Mthokoziseni Zipho Zonke Mapisa. They were all represented by advocate. Therefore, Advocate Mshololo representing accused number 5 right from the beginning, right? Which is accused number 5, which is Fisoguhle Ntuli. Then the first time, then remember that is 2022 April. Advocate therefore is involved in the case, right? But then something happened. The man withdrew from the case and said that he cited the fact that he was facing prosecution. The fact, it's also worth noting that he was also arrested in court. So then we got the introduction of Utoban, Attorney Toban. Now let me give you the name. Toban, Attorney Toban goes by Tsepo Tobane. Now he came into the case and represented accused number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then at about, I think it was around November 2022, the man withdrew from the case as well. He withdrew around that time, and that will then pave a way for Ramsipile, and it paved a way for Ramsipile as well. Ramsipile, who represented accused number 1 and 2, Charles Mnisi, Advocate Charles Mnisi, who represented accused number 3, Advocate Numal, who represented accused number 4. So, Advocate, therefore, the exact date he withdrew due to harassment by the state and police and Judge Chief Maumela. He withdrew around August. We now know that following his withdrawal, Advocate Tobane will come in. But then the same Tobane withdrew and then get that pave away of the people that I've just told you now. So then things take a U-turn in terms of the representation of the accused. So Advocate Mnisi, Advocate Numalo, Atene Ramsipile, and Advocate Mshololo, they were then involved in this case. But then the trial will then face an unprecedented postponement, because the trial continued up until June. It was on June 2020 where Chief Chifua Maumela will fall ill and also was suspended. It was on the 17th of July 2023 that Judge Ratamokwatleng took over and the case officially began 17 July 2023 with a new presiding judge, which was or is Judge Ratamokwatleng. Now, let me give you a brief of just to remind you of witnesses that have testified in the Senzo Mayiwa trial. We had one of the most unreliable witness, Constable Sizwe Zungu. Constable Sizwe Zungu then testified on the matter and what he saw, or look, he saw the accused, specifically Muzika Ukholelwa Sibiya, Bongani Sandile Ntanzi, Mthobisi Mncube, arriving at a hostel in Vosloorus, looking scared, out of breath. Right, you'll still remember that. And then we had the likes of Sergeant Vusmuzi Mohane. Look, this person then Mohane testified, or look, is of the member. Look, it's all the. He belongs to this cold case unit. Testified about the investigation process. During his testimony, he raised concern about the confidential document being accessed by the accused. You still remember that in court. We now currently have Brigadier Bongani Geninda, who is the lead investigator in this entire trial. Do you still remember a person by the name Officer Kuitemetse Mashele? The officer testified about the procedure followed during the arrest of the accused and the handling of evidence. Her testimony aimed at establishing the chain of custody and legitimacy of the arrest. Do you still remember that? Ballistic expert Mangena, who is also yet to conclude the testimony, right? Sergeant Thabo Johannes Mosia, a man who complained that I'm afraid this thing, it has been a while. Do you still remember that? Mosia, who was working with the photography. Do you still remember the man who was also responsible for this place around Katlehong? Do you still remember him, right? And then we had a man by the name of Sejik Patrick Mlungisi Mthetwa. This is one of the most reliable officer who testified about among who was, I think, Mthetwa, no, not Mthetwa. Mthetwa is, this one is the one who belongs to the Vosloorus police station, who were the first police to arrive at the crime scene where Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed on the 26th of October 2014 at Vosloorus, Kelly Khumalo's house. We had Tumelo Madlala, the friend of Senzo Meyiwa. The less I said about him, the better. Mthokozi Sithwala, the less I said about him, the better. Another one, Zandi Khumalo. The less I said about Zandi Khumalo, the better. Nthabiseng Mokete, another one who lied and said that she was in the police vehicle when they were from the hospital, and then the same police officer says, we don't know this woman. We have never been with this woman, please. Right? Nthabiseng, she's a neighbor, by the way. Look, not necessarily not direct front opposite, but yeah, front opposite, not direct, but front opposite to Kelly Khumalo's house. The neighbor who is just front opposite, is it front opposite? I think so. But yeah, really they are neighbors. Let me give you context about this neighbor. It was said that when the so-called intruders, when they left the house, the neighbors heard the commotion, and Mthokozi Twala jumped from the Khumalo house to the Ngashe family. Now that you've got that picture, so the dividing wall, there's only dividing wall. It's the Ngashe family and the Kelly Khumalo house. So Mthogo jumped from the Kelly Khumalo house to Ngashe family. That Ngashe neighbor also testified, right? You will remember what the person said. I'm not gonna remind you more about that. And then we also had Sergeant Bato Mohola. Mohola, if I'm not mistaken, at some point she was working at Katlehong police station. To those who know, which is the school that is next to that police station is Ponejo, right? The train station that is next to that police station is Kwesine. The hostel that is next to that police station is it Barefoot? Because it's definitely not Kwesine is also not far, but yeah, I think it's Barefoot hostel. That is where Mohola was working as a police officer. She used to work at that police station. Also, it is worth noting that Mohola is the one who was involved in the arrest of accused number 1 Muziga Ukulelwa Sbia. Now, this is just by a way of background, and this is to show you that the case is, look, we're coming far with this case, but what is important is to remind you what happened and just give you the glimpse of what happened in this trial. Fast forward, on the 14th of March, 2024, when Judge Ratamo Hwatleng, after a trial within a trial, which was to determine the confession, on the 14th of March, Judge Ratamo Hwatleng ruled that the confession made by accused number 1 and 2 were admissible, and that was made on the 14th of March, 2024. Those were some of the remarkable things or some of the memorable or things that are worth noting in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Let's talk about postponement. There has been a number of postponement. Like I said, right from the beginning when they started, Advocate Mshololo requested a 5 days postponement, which she was granted to familiarize herself with the docket and the information in relation to the trial. Now, let me give you a bit of a breakdown. So then, the 5-day postponement from Mshololo when she first took the case, which was 11 or 12 of April 2025 when she requested the first postponement. At some point, the interpreter, I think it was on the 9th of May, the interpreter was not available. So 9 May 2023, the case was postponed to 2nd of May 2023. We had about 6 months postponement, right? 12th June 2023, it was when Judge Maumela fell ill. 17th July, Judge Ratamo Hwatleng will then take over and the trial start afresh. 10th December 2024, Advocate Ngomezulu died, and there was a postponement on the trial. 22nd of April 2025. Then there was another delay, which took us to the 5th of May 2025, which is when Mnisi then confirmed that on this date, Mnisi will be ready he confirmed on the 5th that on the 19th of May, he will be he will definitely be ready. Now, here are some of the things that are worth mentioning when it comes to this case. There has been some allegations of torture, coerced to confession, electrocuted, made by accused number 1 and 2, and then Judge Ratamo Hwatleng deciding that the trial will start afresh. It was said that if the judge is satisfied with the notes made by the previous judge, which was Judge Chief Maumela, Judge Ratamo Hwatleng was going to look at the note. If he's satisfied, and then he just continues. But he decided, nope, I want to make my own notes. Therefore, the case had to restart. Then there was withdrawal of lawyers and the death of Advocate Mgomezulu, obviously, that brought an unprecedented and unforeseen circumstance, unforeseen delays as well. At some point, the accused were warned by judge when it was said that they have accessed crucial information that were not supposed to, confidential. That I think was made by Usechen Mohwane, not Mohola, Mohwane, because Mohwane is a guy, but Mohola is a female, right? The friends about Tumelo and Tumelo Mtogozisi giving us Abu Zandi Kumalo being emotional in court. Those are some of the things that we've been through, and these are the things that I'm mentioning which have happened under Judge Ratamo Kgwatleng, meaning it would have happened when we started the trial on the 17th of July 2023, right? Some have claimed that witnesses were claimed intimidation, and some are saying that they are being intimidated and they're facing threat. Let me remind you of an incident that have happened in court where accused number 5 was seen doing this to Constable Sizwe Zungu, right? Technical delays and postponement. The trial had faced numerous postponement due to health issues, legal withdrawal, lawyers withdrawing from the case as well, right? So this is where we've been. This is where we have came from when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa trial. And I thought to myself, I should give you this background so you can understand some of the things that we've been through. But if you are at day one in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, it was also a right thing for me to do, just to refresh your memory, just to, give you something, because these delays, somehow you might have forgotten the most important, or these delays rather might have caused you to forget some of the moments in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. And I know I did not mention everything, but I also know that if you know something, if you follow this channel, you are definitely going to remind me of moments that I did not mention. You know what I'm saying? Some of the moments that I've mentioned, I know that you are going to elaborate, but the aim was to trigger something in your memory so you can remember where we're coming from, right? So you can have this memory triggered. If I successfully trigger your memory, then when we start on the 19th of May, your memory is fresh. Then you know what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to see your comment or reading your comment in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to see that, because wow, I know. I am even laughing about it. It is because we've been through a lot, eh? But let's talk about us, you know what I'm saying, establishing this relationship. Just so for those who doesn't know, this channel, I decided, it was on the 17th of July 2023, that I'm going to build this YouTube channel rather, and I'm going to focus on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. I did it there and there, but on the 17th of July, that's when I decided that, okay, when the trial starts afresh, I want to start with the trial. So when I started with this trial, this channel, if you can go back, you know what I'm saying, look at the first videos on this YouTube channel. You will notice that we were not doing this court thing. We were doing things such as Black Coffee has this money, we were profiling celebrities. So this thing of profiling has been with me a while. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've been profiling people. You know what I'm saying? But it was a bit of gossip, but not necessarily gossip. But I was more keen on profiling people. So at the time, when I decided that I'm going to make it about Senzo Meyiwa trial, I had about, 3,700 subscribers. Then the watch hour was about 100 and something, right? And I was busy with the football channel, which is Mtondo, which is media. That channel so far as of us speaking, has about 29,300 subscribers. So I was busy on that channel. I was busy on football. I was doing football by then. So when I decided that I want to invest on the Senzo Meyiwa trial full time, then I had to, slowly but surely stop doing football and focus on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. So we start on the 17th of July 2023. Look at where we are today, right? We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. Together, we've been through a lot. Start, you know what I'm saying? We face death threat. A lot has happened, guys, in between. You know, me having to move from where I stay because it was not safe. You know what I'm saying? I opened a WhatsApp group where I wanted to chat with people. That WhatsApp group was hacked. People wanted to know what was happening there. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted the full control of that. I had to let go of that WhatsApp. I forgot to tell you guys that I had to let go of that WhatsApp because it was too dangerous. That WhatsApp group, I will check and find that it was hacked and do what I needed to do to remove it from the person who has hacked the WhatsApp. And then few weeks later, they will have hacked that WhatsApp group. Also, what we struggled with was the fact that some people wouldn't comply with the rules because we opened the WhatsApp group simply because we just wanted people to talk about the Sons of Miwa trial, but people will do whatever they want. And till today, guys, I don't know what happened because I only realized later that when Locosis Pam made me aware that according to WhatsApp group, you have exited the group. I don't even know what happened, guys. By the time when I checked my phone, I was told that I've lost that number, so I don't have the number anymore. I don't have access to that WhatsApp. So I'm saying we're coming a long way, guys. We're coming a long way. But here's the most important aspect. Yeah, this is the most important thing to remember, to keep in mind. Sorry. The longer the trial delay, the longer or the more we face or we run a risk of other witnesses saying that they don't remember this, they don't remember that, they don't remember this. You know, the delay will or can jeopardize the prospect of this case. It is important also to note that. Also, there's a statement that was said by Judge Rata Mohwatleng where he spoke about a young man who was raped, violated by 3 or 4 men, including a young man amongst the people who violated him. You understand? So the case was in court, but the case faced delays. It was a delay after delay after delay after delay. This young man who was violated by this other man, he subsequently disappeared. No one knew where he went. So people started searching for him and they couldn't find him. There was search, police, nobody found him. So then the magistrate decided that he's going to sentence these people to life imprisonment, but the defense lawyers representing these people or those people who violated this man appealed the case, saying that this guy, the one who was violated, they didn't even have a chance to cross-examine him. And the Supreme Court of Appeal, SCA, acquitted those guys on the basis that these people couldn't have been cross-examined. The complainant, being the guy who was violated, he couldn't have been cross-examined because he disappeared. It was later discovered that the guy went somewhere and took his life, but after some time. But here's the important thing to note is that the more we delay, it is the more we stand a chance of not getting justice. So delay in the Sons of Miwa trial, it is not in the best interest of the public, the family, the accused, to be specific. It is not in the best interest of these three, right? So we should not, at any given time, wish that anything could happen to any of these lawyers. The judge, like, despite our disagreement with whatever is happening in this trial, we will rather conclude with Judge Ratamo Hwatleng, because it looks like he's going to sentence these people. We'll rather conclude with him than take the matter on appeal. Then it's fine. But the delays, hey, guys, anything is possible. A person can die, so and so can, lose their lives. And if that happens, I can tell you this, and I'm telling you for free, we might not get justice. So please have that in mind. Now, as I conclude, on the 19th of May, we look at 2025, 10 o'clock a.m., the trial will resume. We don't know whether they will surprise us with something we didn't know, we didn't expect, but we are praying and hoping that in the best interest of, or in the interest of justice, in the interest of everybody involved, it is about time this trial comes to an end. It is about time that we wrap up with the trial. 2025 should be the year where we wrap up with the trial. We conclude with this trial and we focus on other things. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section below. I'll definitely see you guys on the next episode. But until that next episode, good people, please take care.